Yo, what's going on? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series. Man, I ain't even finna waste y'all time. Let's get into it.
Kids. Kids. Series.
It is Murray on the key beside her. Oh,
Series.
turn on the afterburners. He's gone.
Series.
How's that for
Series.
I see you, bro. Yo, what's going on? It's Keith from Black Quarterback Series and from Black Civilization. We got some things popping off about this Black Civilization group I'm on. I'll tell you guys about that in probably next week. I'm sure you guys will like it. But I don't know who I should talk about first because the thumbnail, future Keith will know the thumbnail. But it's either going to be about Baltimore or it's going to be about benching Watson. So, but let's start. We're going to start with Baltimore, but the overall arch might be about benching Deshaun. So, numbers. Let's get the numbers out the way. So, 26 for 42, 348 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 12 carries, only 55 yards on the ground. But Derrick Henry, 15 carries, 92 yards, a touchdown. Zay, 7 receptions, 111. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the best quarterback in the league right now. Lamar Jackson. Y'all asked him to throw, and he threw yesterday. Y'all wanted him to make passes outside the numbers. He made passes outside the numbers. Y'all want to see him come back after the craziness that happened? He did that. Everything you wanted for the good and for the bad, everything you wanted for Lamar Jackson yesterday is what you got. I thought I was going to come in here and be like, well, they lost this game. It's going to be rough to make the playoffs and da-da-da. Nope. They run off 5 straight when they should be 5-0. And Lamar's the best quarterback in the league right now. This is what it is. I don't care what you think of him. This, and the third, blase. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the league in no particular order. You got Lamar Jackson up there, Baker, Jaden. Who else is playing phenomenal? Hell, the way this week looked might be Daniel Jones. but seriously, Lamar's playing some of his best football I've seen. Some of his best football. And one more, I know Burrow was good yesterday. He was great yesterday. Don't get me wrong, Burrow was great yesterday. But Burrow has started every season terrible. When are we going to just move on from that one time he beat the Chiefs? Now, I still think Joe Burrow is the top 10 quarterback, and he showed it Sunday. But we got to give Joe Burrow some of that energy. You know what I mean? Your team is 1-4, and the one game y'all did win was against a Carolina Panthers team that just gave up almost 10,000 points to the rookie. So, and we'll get to that game in a second. So, it's just, like, we got to start being honest about Joe Burrow. But Lamar Jackson was excellent. I don't like that it got to that point because I feel like we could have used Derrick Henry more. We should have used Derrick Henry more to the point we didn't get into overtime. So that's just what I think. It was certain drives I'm like, why is Derrick Henry not on the field? I would have liked to see Derrick Henry on the field a lot more. And when he was on the field, he made the plays. That run to set us up in field goal range is what you want. It's what you want. It's what you want, how you operate that, and all the good stuff. But I feel like if he was in more, that we wouldn't have to get to that point because we'd already had the big run. So I still think Harbaugh should be fired. This don't make me see Harbaugh no different. He needs to go. But speaking of coaching firing, I want to defend Zach Taylor on his decision. He's getting a lot of slack, and like they're calling for his job on Cincinnati Twitter and Cincinnati airwaves, calling for his job. When Lamar fumbles the ball and they get it at like the 45, if Joe goes out there and throws an interception, it's over. I would have played conservative there too. You've had a great game. I understand you've had a great game. Y'all been running up and down the field. But to that point, I think they had been 2 3-and-outs at that point. Either 2 3-and-outs or Joe throwing an interception, and then they ended up punting it. So looking at it this off, they was killing it. I like the decision. The kick was just bad. Well, the holder dropped the pass or dropped the pass. The holder dropped the ball, which made the kick terrible. I don't think that's a Zach Taylor problem. Now, granted, I don't watch Cincinnati every week. I watch Cincinnati maybe 4 times a year, if not more, depending on who they play. But I've never been like Cincinnati is incompetent coaching. I don't see it. Let me know if somebody is a Cincinnati fan. But I would have done the same thing. You run the ball 3 times and you kick that field goal with a kicker that's been great this year or even his whole career. So that's really all I got for the Baltimore game. I loved it. It was wonderful. It was everything I wanted to be. Best game of the year so far. Now a little less. You know what? No, let's stick with the energy. So Jaden Daniels. I know we love CJ. But Jaden looks like he might be the best rookie ever. The best rookie quarterback ever. You know, we get into Dak and we get into CJ. Hell, we transition sports, you get into Magic. But, like, I've never seen a rookie be this poised. I see Jaden play and he don't look like a rookie. The reads he making, the know when to run into pass. Like, hell, Lamar just got that 2-3 years ago after his injuries. Lamar really just learned how to pass when he needs to, run effectively, not try to hurt yourself, slide when you need to slide, know when to call this, know when how to make the protections and all that. Lamar really just got that 2-3 years ago. And Jaden got it already. Now, granted, he's a 6-year senior. He should know that, right? But it's vets that's not running the game like he is. That's why I can't give Caleb any slack. Because I think if you put Jaden in Chicago, he would at least look good. That's just me. But Jaden Daniels is phenomenal. 14 for 25, 238 passing yards, a touchdown, and a really, really bad interception. The interception was bad. I would love to see the all-22. I feel like he got tricked there. But just from the TV copy, it looks like a really, really bad pass. And so let's get to the Deshaun stuff. Deshaun was 15 for 28, 125 yards, a touchdown. Defense had another hell of a game, right? But the offense just can't get it together. The offense looks terrible. Now, we can blame it on the offensive line. We can blame it on that, right? But Deshaun is going to be benched. I think he has the lowest passer rating or lowest QBR in the NFL. I say this all the time. I love Deshaun. But, and I think I said this last week, the fire is gone. There's nothing you can really do about that. I think the fire's gone. I think they're going to bench him. They might just take the cap hit and release him, and we'll never hear from Deshaun again as far as football until maybe like 2-3 years from now. I don't think this is his last stop in football. I would love to see him go to the UFL and go crazy. But that's just my personal opinion. But Deshaun's going to be benched and Deshaun's going to be blamed for why Cleveland looks terrible. There are flashes there sometimes. And I'm like, oh, they're going to Deshaun. But put him on the field next to Jaden Daniels, it's so clear that he don't have it no more. I got this, and I always preface this. I have Deshaun Watson's 100th anniversary or 100th season jersey in my closet. And I wore it in a couple of my earlier videos. I love Deshaun Watson as a player. But the magic is gone, man. Like, it's gone. It's like seeing your favorite player get old. It sucks. It sucks to see that for Deshaun. Because him and Cam are probably literally the reasons why I'm doing this right now. And I don't see Deshaun making it to week 10. If he makes it next week. Now, Stefanski came out and said that they're not benching him, they're sticking with Deshaun, but you can't believe that. You know what I mean? That's coach speak. You can't believe that. But they could have won these last 3 games if Deshaun was just slightly above average. And at that cap hit, you got to be at least slightly above average. So, I don't know. It's a little somber, but yeah. Hopefully he can get it together. Hopefully, maybe. So, Houston. Let's get to Houston. So Houston is another team, and I might do these interchangeably. Arizona Cardinals and Houston. Houston should have won by 40, and the Cardinals should have lost by 40 because the 49ers just, I don't know what happened to the 49ers. But let's do it with Houston. CJ was 28 for 38, 331 yards, a touchdown interception. It was 3-20 at a point. It was 320 at a point. It should have been over at that point. But then, for whatever reason, they just lost their way. And I don't know. Maybe it's because they're missing the running game. They can't, without Joe Mixon, they cannot run the ball. I'm noticing that they can't run the ball without Mixon. And I think there's some O-line issues there. And I was talking to a friend. I think I was actually talking to my uncle. And he made a good point that this might be CJ's sophomore slump. Which I think it is because CJ does not look all world like he did last year. CJ looked awesome last year. He don't look like that same guy. He's better than Deshaun, but he just don't look like that guy. And he's that guy, but he just doesn't look like it right now. I think the more we get into this season and the more comfortable he gets with the more workload that he has, he'll be okay. And Nico Collins is hurt now. So that's even more stress that's put on him. But he got Stephon and he got Tank out there, so and then Mixon will be back. So I think he'll be fine. But they need to get together. They won. Don't get me wrong, they won, but this is a bad loss. I think this is a bad loss. Because you should have took care of this team to where CJ was sitting in the fourth. So I think I posted my Cowboys video a little late yesterday. So I just unlisted it and I'm going to put the Cowboys reaction right here. What is going on this late edition of Black Quarterback Series? That weather delay was crazy, like threw my whole night off. So, but got a chance to watch a fairly interesting game. No face cam today. Fairly interesting game. And it really came down to the offensive talent, for real. There were some drops by Pittsburgh that should have been caught. There were some bad throws by, I was going to call him Jameis. It was some bad throws by our guy, Fields, as well. And, like, ultimately it came down to, for me, who had the most offensive talent. Like, CD didn't have the best of games, but Turpin and all the other guys were able to make plays that the Pittsburgh offense just didn't make because of the lack of the skill positions. So I think that's really what it came down to, because it's not like Dallas or Pittsburgh played a poor game on defense. They played an excellent game on defense. The offense just didn't give them enough. And like I said a few weeks ago, that's my fear with Pittsburgh. Will they have enough offense to stay in these types of games? And, you know, Justin played well. He played decent. I don't have his numbers in front of me. Y'all will know his numbers really before I do. So I like what I saw. But, again, Pittsburgh's issue, they have to have more skilled players at their skill position. Pickens didn't have a good game. Pickens, they must have been rolling coverage or just absolutely taking them out the game, because Pickens was non-existent this whole game, and that might have something to do with the offense looking inept, because they haven't looked that inept all year. So, shout out to Chicago, or not Chicago. Shout out to Dallas. So we back. So let's talk about the Seahawks and how I think they didn't realize that the Giants was an NFL team. So Geno was 28 for 40, a touchdown, 284 yards. Started on a crazy play and it ended on a crazy play. That just 100 and some yard return, and then a block kick that could have won the game returned to essentially seal it. So I think they walked, well, they're at home. So I think the Giants walked in there and they're like, this the damn Giants. We're not worried about the Giants. And then the Giants got up 10 and they like, oh snap, right? The Giants had 7 sacks. You giving up 7 sacks, you're not going to win the game. You're not going to win the game. So between them giving up sacks and the Giants looking like a competent team and playing like out of their mind yesterday, you get beat. Even at home, you get beat at home that type of way. Um, Mike McDonald is learning, and this is one of those I'm going to learn and be better as a coach games. So, um, shout out to the Seahawks. Shout out to the Giants for looking competent. Um, it was a good game though. It was a good game. It was a really really good game. Didn't didn't think to even look at this game until I was doing the reviews, and I thought, oh snap, let me go watch this game, and that's what stuck out to me. Two more. So the Bears. Williams was 20 for 29, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns, 34 rush yards. 36-10 win over the Panthers. The Panthers got to be sick. They could have had Caleb Williams. But they decided to go in on Bryce. And I'm not blaming Bryce like I said, Bryce is in a tough situation. I don't blame him for what's going on there. But Caleb is the better prospect, and I think just build, he's bigger. I think Caleb is the better prospect, right? And to see him play as well, him and DJ Moore play well, essentially stomping on your grave. Like I said a few weeks ago when Carolina won, and people was like, oh my God, is Andy Dalton? No. They've lost 2 straight since then. And I think they've got blown out twice. Like I said, they're still the Panthers. So, but yeah, he did what he was supposed to do. He took a turn in his rookie career or his rookie season, and he did what he was supposed to do it against an inferior team. I don't really have no real analysis to that. He took care of the win, and he did what I thought he was going to do. And now if he'd have looked bad in this game, then we'd have had a problem. But he looked really good in this game, so we're all good. So last game. Kyler Murray, if you'd have just watched the first play, you're like, oh my God, this was a really good game. So Kyler Murray was 19 for 30, a touchdown and an interception. I can't remember which Bosa it is. But Bosa did some Madden stuff. So he rushed just enough to trick Kyler into throwing the ball and jumped up and intercepted it. So I can't even put that on Kyler, bro. That's just a phenomenal play by a future Hall of Famer. So, 195 yards, 7 carries, 83 yards on the touchdown, on that phenomenal touchdown. I'm sure y'all saw it at the beginning. So Kyler didn't play like excellent. They didn't play like great. And same thing I said about Houston. This should have been a blowout. It was 23-10 for the longest. And the 49ers just decided they didn't want to win. The 49ers literally could have won this game. And let's give credit to the Arizona defense. Arizona defense played hella good. That makes me sound old. Really, really good. They played really good. But I looked at the game and I'm like, how did y'all lose? Brock Purdy running around for his life, making bad passes. Like this is more of a 49ers loss. As you can see, I'm kind of speechless. Because there's no reason the 49ers should have lost this game. Kyler Murray did not play excellent. Kyler Murray had like 2 good drives. So, needless to say, a win is a win. But the 49ers going to be kicking themselves the fact that they lost this game. They're going to be kicking themselves. So, that's all I got for you guys. If you wondering what a Kansas City review is, I'm going to leave that at the top. I did that review yesterday after the game ended. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.